Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Since 2013, the Tigers have made themselves right at home here in Cleveland. The two teams have played 26 times at Progressive Field. The Tigers, they've won 20 of those, and the hope is that trend will continue here tonight. Gorgeous night for baseball. We welcome you to Progressive Field. Game one in this four-game series featuring the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for Game 1 of what will be a four-game weekend series. The Tigers, Rod, as we know, play well in this ballpark. However, the Indians, as of late, have been playing better baseball.
I don't know what it is about Detroit, but when they come to this particular ballpark, they act like it's a home game. They have absolutely clobbered Cleveland Indians pitching, whether it's Miguel Cabrera, Rajay Davis back in the day. He's had some good numbers this year against them. Ghost, Victor Martinez, the list really just goes on and on and on.
All right, Alfredo Simon will get the call tonight for the Tigers. As we know, this has not been a very good year overall for Simon, but when he matches up with Cleveland, for whatever reason, the results are pretty good.
You know, one of the things that he does very well against the Tribe, and he should do this against other teams, he mixes up his pitches very well. One time it might be the two-seamer and the cutter with that splitter. The next time it's the curveball and the slider, and he has worked them to perfection this year against the Tribe. You talked about the 4-0, but look at the ERA. It is 1.50, the whip just a shade over 1, and he has not given up one home run to the Cleveland Indians team. One guy he'll have to watch, however, today is Michael Brantley. Brantley pretty much owns him, so he'll need to just pitch around Michael Brantley tonight.
All right, this has been the year of the young player in Major League Baseball, all over baseball, American League, National League. One of those guys you can throw into that mix, Francisco Lindor. This guy's been absolutely outstanding since coming up from AAA.
Now, this young man can barely order a beverage when he goes out to an establishment at night, but this guy is an outstanding two-way player. He's got huge upside. He can hit the ball from both sides of the plate with power. He hits the ball in the gaps. He can also get you a hustling double. Defensively, he is one of the best in our sport, and he's just 21 years old. He has put himself in the Rookie of the Year conversation, and he only got here on June 14th, made his debut against the Tigers, as a matter of fact. And he can do it all, as I mentioned. He can also steal you a base. This guy has a legitimate shot at being a five-tool player once that power really shows up. Right now, he can do everything else in the game.
All right, Tigers will try and stop him tonight. Game 1 in the series just minutes away. After a short break, we send you to the Call Sam Studios. Check in with Johnny Kane. Tigers will face Danny Salazar tonight. They have dominated him this year. A 13 ERA in his last 2 starts against the Tigers. Stay with us. Game 1 next. Comerica Bank. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Ram Trucks. Keep your summer of fun alive with great deals now during the Ram Labor Day sales event. And by Purina, your pets are passion. Back here at Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, the Tigers Indians get together here for the start of the 4-game series. Nice night for baseball. Tiger fans filing in as well, along with the Indians fans tonight. Rajai Davis will be starting things off for the Tigers. And the starting lineup for Detroit tonight is presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Davis to start things off. He'll play left this evening. Kinsler is at second base. Miguel Cabrera, pretty good numbers against Salazar, including a couple of homers. JD is in right field. Victor back in the lineup, the DH. Castellanos at third. Then you have McCann, Romine, and Gose in your bottom 3 spots in the Tigers lineup, and they are facing Danny Salazar.
And Salazar's got a big arm. His fastball usually gets all the way up to 98, but 5 days ago his top fastball 95 against the Tigers. Tigers beat Salazar. You can see he has a lot of strikeouts this year, 173 against just 43 base on balls. Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians starting defense here tonight behind Danny Salazar. It is brought to you by Tim Hortons. Chisenhall, converted third baseman, making his 26th start out in the outfield, 53 chances, no errors. Almonte, he can go get him in center field. Michael Brantley, well, you know all about him. Lindor Ramirez up the middle, Urshela and Santana on the corners, and their everyday catcher, Yan Gomes, behind the dish.
Here's what it looks like in the wild card chase right now for the Indians. They're 4.5 games back. They certainly have some ground to make up, but I assume it is doable. The Angels in Minnesota right ahead of them in the wild card position.
And Terry Francona has the Cleveland Indians playing some of their best baseball the second half of the season.
Hey, by the way, stay tuned for Tigers Live following the game. We'll select the Fox Sports Detroit Tigers Player of the Game, presented by McDonald's Steak and Egg Burritos. Well, the Tigers hoping to lean on a couple of their big bats in this series, including Miguel Cabrera. They have not been able to stop him, and by them I mean the Cleveland Indians. And meanwhile, Miggy against the Indians. How about these numbers, Ryan?
509 batting average, 5 home runs, hitting nearly 700 in this particular ballpark, but they have no answer for the big fella. He's the sport's best hitter, and he is taking it out on the Cleveland Indians pitching staff, really, since he has come and put on a Tigers uniform, not just this year, but every year.
Well, we are ready for baseball here tonight, the start of a 4-game weekend series between these two teams before the Tigers continue the road trip on to Minneapolis after this series is done.
And you may be wondering why Rajai Davis leading off today instead of Gose, who has been on fire against the right-hander. Well, Rajai Davis, 357 batting average against Danny Salazar.
Here's the motion by Salazar. The first one is in there for a strike, and tonight's ball game is underway. Davis at 247, 7 home runs. He is a career .302 hitter against the Indians. Here's the 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike on the speedy Davis, who just completed a pretty good homestand. Had a good series against the Rays to wrap it up. Here's the 1-1 pitch. 2 balls and 1 strike.
And we told you Salazar has that fastball that gets up into the upper 90s. He also has a split that he uses as his changeup. It's a lot like the starter that the Tigers saw yesterday, Jake Odorizzi.
It's a wave and a miss, and the count evens now at 2 balls, 2 strikes. 95 on the gun there from Salazar.
That was his top fastball just 5 days ago.
Salazar trying to shake off that start he made against the Tigers. They hit him pretty good. Here's the 2-2. And it's screaming foul back out of play.
Looks like Salazar's got them old school stirrups on. I love when I see a player in those old school stirrups. Brings back memories.
There's Ian Kinsler waiting in the on deck circle.
Kinsler ought to be one of those guys that wears those old school socks, shouldn't he?
Well, you don't see it very much from pitchers. And Salazar's got him way up to the knees. Here's the 2-2 again. And it's high, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
So far, real nice at bat to lead off the game, turned in by Rajai Davis. He's worked the count to 3-2.
Davis was 4 for 9 in that series against the Rays, and a couple of homers on Monday night. And Rajai, an emergency hack, fouled it back.
Rajai Davis's hand slipped off the bat when he took that last swing. Take a look at his hand, just kind of slip off the bat, that left hand.
Kinsler to follow, then Cabrera, just underway, top of the first here in Cleveland. And that missed inside for ball 4. Leadoff man is on for the Tigers. Salazar starts this one off with a base on balls.
Well, right away, Salazar will be forced into making sure that he keeps Rajai Davis close over at first base. Rajai Davis, since the beginning of the 2008 season, he has stolen 295 bases. No one in the American League has stolen more than Davis.
Kinsler batting .303, 10 home runs this year. Salazar in that start against the Tigers the last time out gave up 8 hits in 3 2/3. More importantly, 6 runs. And so Salazar begins now to keep Davis close. Rajai 18 steals this year.
It's a huge hole on the right side of the diamond for Ian Kinsler, especially with a guy like Salazar that throws as hard as he throws. If Ian's able to hit one in that direction, he could simply get Rajai Davis all the way over to third.
Salazar 12-8 this year, an ERA of about 3.5. Kinsler cuts and misses, 0-1. Fastball up.
What a gorgeous night here in downtown Cleveland. Doesn't get any better than this.
73 degrees our game time temp tonight. The lights have been turned on.
No humidity.
September baseball, unfortunately for these two teams, the postseason is something that has eluded them. And we mentioned the Indians are 4.5 back out of the wild card. The Tigers came in 9.5 back. Although Texas, the second wild card team, lost earlier today to Seattle.
King Felix pitching at home, and that crowd really gets energized when Felix Hernandez pitches in Seattle. What do they call him? King's Court?
King's Court out there in left field. 0-2. Kinsler had 5 hits on the last homestand. And the 0-2. Thought about going after it, missed it up high, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
So far over at first base, Rajai has not felt like he's been able to get a good enough lead and a good enough jump against Salazar. So he has kind of just stayed put. And then you add in the fact that Yan Gomes behind the plate, their catcher, has a pretty good throwing arm.
Cleveland coming into this game, been playing some pretty good baseball. They've won 10 of their last 14.
And they're playing much better baseball right here at home. They've won 10 of their last 12 in this ballpark.
The 1-2 with a runner going and a foul at home plate. It'll send Davis back to first base. Tigers drop the final game of their series against Tampa before heading on this road trip starting here in Cleveland tonight. You look at the numbers on Davis, 78% this year.
Yeah, 18 of his career 219 steals in the American League this year.
One and 2 on Ian Kinsler. Runner goes again, and a fly ball in the air to right field, backing up Chisenhall. He's going to the corner, and Davis will have to retreat. 1 gone. That'll bring up Miguel Cabrera now with 1 away. Miggy 3 for 10 in the series against the Rays. He is batting .351. That still leads the American League. 17 home runs this year. Salazar issuing the leadoff walk, and now with 1 out, here is Miguel. And Cabrera shoots a base hit into left field, out of the reach of the third baseman Urshela. Miguel just won't slow down against these Indians.
He is so smart. Let's take a look at our bell tower pitch by pitch. J.D. Martinez hasn't had a lot of success against Salazar, but when he does connect, he can most definitely hit it out of the ballpark. Just about everything that Salazar has thrown J.D. Martinez has been pitches away. And J.D. finally looked for one of those pitches up and away, and he hit the ball out to right center field against Danny Salazar.
So Martinez will have a nice opportunity here in the first inning with 2 on and 1 out. 36 home runs for J.D. Martinez.
He's got a legitimate shot of getting to 40 this year.
Not only that, but 100 RBIs. He has 91 coming into play, and he shoots one high in the air deep into left center field. Almonte going back to the track. He'll circle. Davis will tag and come to third base, and he is in there safely. So Martinez just missed that one. 2 gone.
It's a nice job by Rajai Davis. Once he realized that Almonte in the outfield was going to catch that ball, he alertly got back to second and took off for third, knowing that he really had to hustle because of the arm strength of Almonte in center field.
So with 2 outs, first and third now, and Victor Martinez will stand in.
First time we've seen Victor in a few days.
Martinez was available for the ball game last night should the Tigers needed him, but obviously it got away from the Tigers late, so Martinez didn't play. Just has not been feeling well the last couple of days, but he's good to go tonight. Martinez, 343 career against Cleveland. Wasn't going to miss this game. Sends a ground ball slowly to first, though, on the very first pitch, and that's going to end the threat. No runs, a walk, a hit, 2 men left for the Tigers, and we go to the bottom of the first in Cleveland. No score. Simon tonight is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
Overall, Simon comes in 12-9 this season with a 4.86 earned run average. He is 4-0 this year against the Tribe, however.
Here is the lineup he will face tonight, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers for the Cleveland Indians this evening. It'll be Jason Kipnis leading it off. He's the DH, though. Lindor and then Brantley. Brantley, career against the Tigers, well, he's pretty good. Santana at first base, Chisenhall in right, Almonte is in center, Gomes, Ramirez, Urshela, the bottom 3 for the Indians. And Cleveland now will take their first swings against Alfredo Simon. Kipnis at 308, 7 home runs. And the first one bounces in right at his feet, 1 ball and no strikes. Kipnis pretty good year in the leadoff slot this year, batting .318 from that first position in the Cleveland lineup. Simon ready with the 1-0. And Kipnis takes high and away. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Kipnis this year, 17 games with 3 hits or more in those 17 games, the most in the American League. So when he gets hot, he can really carry a team.
There's a strike called by Ed Hickox, the home plate umpire.
Converted outfielder. And when he was signed by the Cleveland Indians, he played outfield, but they converted him to second base, and he's acquitted himself very nicely at that position the last couple of years.
Balled inside, run it to 3-1 now.
As a matter of fact, he's made a couple of all-star teams. Made one this year, and he made one in 2013.
Here's the youngster Lindor waiting on deck. Now Simon with the 3-1 pitch. Lifted down the left field line, foul. Full count on Kipnis. Had a 20-game hitting streak earlier this year. That was in the month of June. Kipnis returning for the levels where the Indians expected after a somewhat down season last year. Pull down the right field line, hooking though, and that'll go back to the seats.
It's always interesting to see what kind of adjustments need to be made by the starting pitcher and also the offensive team when they've seen a pitcher like Simon as many times as they have this year. 4 times, and he's been very successful. His earned run average is 1.50.
Another foul back out of play. These 2 teams are also facing each other, what, 7 times in a 10-day stretch.
Yeah.
And when you get into the month of September, obviously played out a lot of divisional games.
There are really no secrets between these 2 squads.
Simon again with the 3-2. And it's pulled foul again, so Kipnis giving him a battle here to start things. Here are those numbers. I mean, an ERA of 1.50 against the Indians in 4 starts this year. In fact, Alfredo's first start of the season as a Tiger was against the Indians here in Cleveland. Another foul.
Really good at bat by Kipnis, just like Rajai Davis's bat to start off the top half of this frame. And Rajai was able to get on a base on balls.
The next pitch will be the 10th of this at bat. Simon having trouble putting him away. And he finally does. A swing and a miss. But it took 10 pitches.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' starting defense. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. J.D. Martinez in right, goes in center field. Davis, he's in left field. Romine Kinsler up the middle tonight. Castellanos and Miggy on the corners, and James McCann and back behind the plate. The Tigers have only committed 70 errors this season, which is 3rd fewest in the American League. And here's a split-fingered fastball that stays up and Jason Kipnis swung right through.
There's a strike called on the impressive rookie Francisco Lindor, who's batting a solid .309 entering play tonight. He has shown power as well with 8 home runs. Wave and a miss. 0-2.
Real nice curveball there thrown by Simon. It's something he did a lot of 5 days ago against the Tribe. Lots of curveballs. That's a good one there.
Here's the 0-2. Lindor swings and misses. Got away from the catcher. McCann going to run it down. And Lindor is safe at first base. A break there for the Indians. A wild pitch on the strikeout.
Yeah, usually James McCann pretty good at these breaking balls down in the dirt, able to keep them in front of him, but the breaking ball, once it hit the dirt, it trickled to the right, the left, excuse me, and right over his glove. That's why they tell you it's so important, if you can, to get your body in front of it.
Well, here's Brantley now batting .318. Wild pitch allowing the runner to reach on the strikeout. And Brantley sends a ground ball, cut off by Miggy, fires to second one, relay to Simon, covering, safe. Brantley beat him there. 2 outs.
And nice athletic play by Miguel Cabrera on the one hopper. He grabs it, fires the strike to Romine, and then on the return, and Simon just not able to get there.
So it'll give Santana an opportunity with 2 away. Which brings us to our Bernstein advantage, the pitcher-batter matchup. Santana rolling in. Career against Simon is only .235, 4 for 17 against Alfredo. Simon, or I should say Santana this year batting just .232. Brantley will run. He's got 14 steals. He's been caught just once this year. That's it. Now Santana looks at ball 1.
And Santana sees a lot of pitches. As a matter of fact, on average, he sees over 4 pitches per plate appearance. And because of that, a lot of base on balls this year. 90 base on balls for Santana coming into this contest.
.10 is in there. 1 ball and 1 strike on their cleanup man.
That's what's kind of puzzling to me regarding Santana, is the fact that he can walk as much as he walks, but yet the batting average right around .235, .240 every year. He's got really good hand-eye coordination, just can't get that batting average up.
That is pulled right by Miguel Cabrera down the right field line. Brantley is on his way to third base, and Santana will pull it with a single, and the Indians now have runners at first and third with 2 outs.
And really not a whole lot that Miggy could do here. This ball ripped off the bat of Santana, and with Miguel holding the base runner Brantley on, and not enough reaction time to slow that ground ball down.
First base hit of the ball game for the Indians. That'll bring up Lonnie Chisenhall. We touched on this a little bit earlier, Ron, the fact that these 2 teams have seen each other a lot. The Tigers have thrown Simon a lot against the Indians. Do the Indians approach this game any differently against Alfredo?
Well, I'm sure they've watched all the data on Simon in the 4 previous starts, and they probably figured out what he's done to them in some of those starts. And I'm sure they're looking for fastballs. They're up in the strike zone. They're looking to swing early like that.
Right at the center fielder, though, and Ghost will make the play.
But the flip side of that is, if you swing early when Simon has dominated you might not have the success you're looking for.
Now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan, and you just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Well, we go to the second in a scoreless game, and for the Tigers, it'll be Castellanos, McCann, and Romine facing Danny Salazar. Both teams threatened in the first inning, putting runners at the corners. Neither team scored.
Last 22 games for Nick Castellanos, batting nearly 300. Loves to swing at first pitch fastballs.
And Salazar missed outside with it. 1-0. Castellanos on the homestand just 174. His average now at 248. Nick's still looking for his next RBI, which will give him a career high. He's got 66 right now. 2-0 the count on Castellanos. Tigers had a walk from Davis, a single from Cabrera in the first inning. Salazar stranded those two runners. Here's the 2-0. That's in there, a strike call.
Yeah, most of the fastballs that Salazar has been featuring so far here tonight, anywhere from 93 to 95 miles an hour. Earlier this year, we saw him a couple of times, and that fastball was getting up to 98 miles an hour.
You wonder if this stage of the season really starts to catch up with guys in terms of velocity.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure he's starting to tire just a little bit down the stretch, but he still has plenty good enough stuff to work at 93, not work at 94.
Castellanos shoots one on the ground to the shortstop Lindor, who bobbles, stays with it, and it is in time. Half a step. One gone here in the second. Pretty close play down there. Lindor still had time after bobbling it. Here is James McCann.
It's a nice job by Lindor not panicking. And it doesn't look like Nick was running full speed either.
McCann batting .267, had a nice series against the Rays, was 5 for 9. And McCann caught that 13-inning game. It was game 2 in the series. He got yesterday off.
He was also hit in the head in that game, but did not leave the game, stayed in.
He didn't even go down. He just walked right to first base. 2 balls, no strikes. McCann on the homestand hit .438, had 7 hits for the Tigers. His bat perking up a little bit as we hit the stretch run here in September. Now the 2-0. In there, a strike, 2-1.
It's one thing that Salazar will do, even though the velocity down a little bit in the month of September, he will still give you a lot of fastballs. That's his best pitch by far.
Right-handers came in batting just .218 against Salazar this year.
McCann did not like that last fastball at 95 on the outside black that was given to Salazar by Ed Hickox.
Coming off as well a really good month of August, 3-1, an ERA a little bit over 2, about 2.5. And he fouls that one back at 94 to stay alive. Salazar is 25 years old, born in Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic.
You ever been down there on a vacation or anything?
No, we've thought about it though.
I've heard a lot of really good things about going down there for a vacation. I played down there a long time ago, but never have gone for vacation.
Well, when you played there, I'm sure you spent some time on the beach.
Yeah, a little bit, but it was more like you had to go to work that night, so you really couldn't enjoy yourself the way that you want to.
No drinks with umbrellas in them.
None of that kind of stuff.
No. 2-2 on McCann. There's Romine waiting on deck. Romine is playing short tonight. Dixon Machado getting the night off. There's a bouncer to third, foul. Just out of the reach of Urshela.
And Tiger saw Jake Odorizzi last night. He pitches for the Tampa Bay Rays, and he has this same pitch that Salazar features. It's a splitter, but they throw it as their changeup because they don't have a feel for a changeup. You're starting to see more and more guys that throw a split-fingered fastball, and they use it for 2 different pitches. That one had a little depth on it. You can see the grip on his glove. when he throws the pitch. He can even make that splitter dance a couple of different ways. Salazar. I guess we have a couple of guys in this game tonight that really love their splitter. 36% of the time Simon throws his, and nearly 21% of the time Danny Salazar, he throws his. There's Jake Odorizzi. He's on that list too. Tigers ought to be ready for Salazar tonight then, right?
Well, they should be. Plenty of practice. Here's the 2-2 again. It's fouled back out of play. This is where James McCann last September, made his major league debut. He came on as a defensive replacement and caught for the Tigers late in a ball game. So this is the first ballpark that he played in as a big leaguer. Alex Avila this year has taken a back seat to McCann, who has pretty much taken over the lead catching duties. That's pulled foul, so this lengthy at bat continues.
And Salazar has thrown James McCann everything but the kitchen sink in this particular at bat, but yet he has not been able to put him away. It's already been a couple of really good at bats against Salazar. Rajay Davis had a really good at bat against him to lead off the game.
This has been a 10-pitch at bat. Gomes flashing fastball away. Here it comes, and he missed with it. Fill the count, 3-2. Salazar already with one walk in this game. Here's the full count pitch. Another foul back into the seats. McCann handing out some souvenirs tonight. Tigers really working Salazar. His pitch count is up. 4.7 pitches per at bat so far in this game. And the 3-2 again. How about that? Another foul.
Do it, McCann.
Wow, a 13 pitch at bat. If this ends up in a base hit or a walk, that'll be pretty good. Even an out will have served its purpose.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It's a positive at bat for James. He's seen everything that Salazar is featuring here this evening.
Now time called as Salazar started the windup.
Young Gomes, one of those catchers that likes to play games with the hitters. He continues to tell the pitcher to shake off, to put the thought in the hitter's mind that a breaking ball is coming, and then he simply throws a fastball.
Checked it, and he ends up with a walk as they appeal down at first base. Paul Nart said he held up. Great at bat for McCann. Second walk now for Salazar. Hey, Comerica Park becomes a galaxy far, far away on Star Wars night, September 19th. Tigers battle Royals at 7:08. Get a special ticket package, including a Tigers Star Wars t-shirt, exclusively at tigers.com/Star Wars.
And Paul's is in it.
Paul's always in it. So McCann draws a walk. There's a strike call and a 14-pitch at bat. It's been a while since we've seen an at bat go 14 pitches.
I really can't remember one this year.
Maybe the first one all year. Romine is up there. 3 out of 9 on the series against Tampa for Romine. Sends a ground ball to the right side, out of the reach of a diving Ramirez. McCann will stop at second. He puts on the brakes there, and a single for Romine. 2 on, 1 out.
And since Iglesias has missed some time here in the month of September, Romine getting lots of reps at shortstop. He's played third, he's played second, and he's handled himself well, just like he did last year. And really, since he's put on the Tigers uniform, nice utility player is Andrew Romine.
Here's Anthony Ghost getting his first at bat. Ghost batting .259, 5 home runs.
Had a real nice series against Tampa. He was 5 for 12 in that series.
Ripped towards second, off the glove of the second baseman Ramirez. McCann rounding third. They'll send him home. Ball is cut off. Throw down to second. They got him in a rundown. Ghost between first and second. They'll run him back to the bag. Tag made there. Throw coming home, and he is safe at home plate. Romine scores. 2 runs in for the Tigers.
This ball absolutely ripped to right field by Ghost, and then once the right fielder Chisenhall came up and fired home, Ghost got too aggressive and took off for second. The ball was cut by Santana. A rundown ensued, and then Chisenhall, the right fielder, came in to grab it, and that's when Romine took off, knowing that it was going to be difficult for Chisenhall to go all the way from the right field position, make the exchange, and then throw him out, and he was just safe. How about that play?
They're going to replay it here, or challenge it, it appears. We'll see. And Terry Francona coming out. I don't know that they're going to replay it. It'll go as a single and RBI. The put out on Ghost goes 9-3-6-9.
When's the last time you said one of those?
I'm not sure.
9-3-6-9.
9-3-6-9. Romine right now is scoring from third base. We'll see if it holds up.
Even if Romine is out here and this is overturned, it's just a really good base running play, because he could see the right fielder coming in towards second base, and that's when he decided to take off for home.
Pretty good pickup by Gomes. You could see he tagged him on the backside, though, and hopefully Romine got his foot in there before the tag was made.
Well, the best look appears to be the look the home plate umpire got here. Ed Hickox. I mean, how can you get a better look?
It'll be hard to overturn this one, don't you think?
Well, based on the history this year, Mario.
Right.
You never know, but based on the history this year and all the plays that have not been overturned that we thought should have been, this will be tough to overturn. Ghost continues to swing that stick.
Yeah, he sure does.
And it all started with that great at bat by McCann.
The call on the field is safe at home plate. We'll see if Romine does indeed get the run scored here. The Tigers right now lead 2-0. So we've had a 14 pitch at bat here in the second. We've had a 9-3-6-3 put out.
Last 4 or 5 games, a lot of challenges by the Tigers, and also the teams are playing.
You know, you might be able to call blocking the plate here. I'm not sure that throw took him into the path of the runner, but it looked like he got his knee down first before the ball got to him.
So I guess if he is called out, that means Brad Austin can come back out and then challenge the block of the plate.
Yeah, I think he's got that locked and loaded in case it comes back that he was out.
It's taken a long time.
You are right about one thing. We have seen a lot of reviews in the last 3 or 4 games, a ton of them.
They had 4 in that one game that Rajay started, a few days ago, and he was involved in every last challenge.
All of them. All right, here we go. Oh, they're calling him out, and here comes Brad to argue the blocking of the plate. So hold everything.
We're not done with the review.
Nope. He is not arguing the call here. He's going to say he blocked the play. So for now, take a run off the board and make it 1-0. We'll see how this transpires here. We'll step aside as they talk about it. Tigers have a 1-0 lead. We'll be back to Cleveland. Well, the Tigers had a 2-0 lead for moments. It is now a 1-0 lead. They called Romine out at home plate on that tag play, and Brad came out and chatted with the umpiring crew. I assume they were talking about blocking of the plate, but nothing came of that. And so it's 1-0 as Simon goes back to the hill, and he will throw a strike to Abraham Almonte. We're at the bottom of the second here in Cleveland. Almonte, Gomes, Ramirez. 267 hitter. Almonte fouled it back out of play. 0-2.
Here's the definitive look that they went with in New York. And looking at this, as they slow it down, it looks like he did apply the tag right there before the left foot of Romine was able to get on the plate.
Hence the out call. We had a change on that rundown as well. Numbers we gave you were not correct. The put out of Ghost actually went 9-3-6-9-2.
Good lottery numbers there.
Yeah, well, I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes. See, that can't be because. Oh, good. Now they're giving me another sheet with more numbers on it, Rod.
Okay.
9-3-6-4-9-2. It's 1-0, folks. That's all we got.
You've already messed up my scorecard enough.
Strike called on Almonte, who didn't like the call, but he's out of there.
And that's what we talked about Simon and the last time he saw this particular team. Lots of off-speed pitch. The curveball has been a really good pitch for him. Look at it come out of his hand. It's been coming out of his hand nicely. He's got a real nice break to it.
.112 pitches in that last start against the Indians. 5 strikeouts, no runs in 7 innings. Here's Yan Gomes, batting .217. It seems like when Simon has had some of his better starts, he's had that really good curveball that is broken sharply.
And he likes to use that curveball in fastball counts, which is a brilliant move by not only Simon, but also McCann, or whether it be Avila, whoever's behind the plate.
Bouncing ball slowly towards short, surrounded by Romine. 2 outs.
And then once Simon does get ahead of the hitters, when they're looking for that breaking ball or they're looking for that splitter, he still has 94 with movement that he can throw right by you. So that's one of the reasons why he has been so successful against tri-bats this year.
Well, it's been a strange year for Alfredo Simon. He's had quite a few starts in which he's given up 6 runs. He's had a start in which he gave up 8 runs, 7 runs, and then he had that 1-hit effort, the 1-hit shutout against Texas. There's a ball outside to Ramirez.
No question he's pitched his best baseball at Comerica Park. I believe the earned run average nearly 2.5 runs per game less at Comerica Park than when he ventures out on the road.
Well, the road ERA this year is 6.13.
There you go.
But so far so good tonight. He's given up 1 hit. Ramirez shoots 1 to short. Right there is Romine. And that'll be a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. Tigers baseball tonight. Cleveland, presented by Bell Tire. better baseball. 23-16 since the 28th of July.
And it really coincides with them deciding to be sellers at the trade deadline. They traded away Bourne, Swisher, Moss, and Murphy, some veteran players that they had. And with the infusion of the young talent, the team has really played a lot better.
Well, the Tigers have the 1-0 lead here as Rajai Davis leads off the top of the third in Cleveland.
Young players are a lot hungrier. These guys are trying to establish themselves in the major leagues, trying to make an impression on their manager, Mr. Francona.
1 ball, 1 strike. September provides so many opportunities in so many different ways, regardless of what the standings say, particularly for the young players. There's a chopper to third.
And make no mistake about it, one of the major reasons why they have improved in the second half of the season is they have themselves a shortstop of the future who has finally arrived, and that would be Lindor.
Here's the 1-2. High fly ball into right field. Playable for Chisenhall. And Rajai's out of there. 1 gone. That'll bring up Kinsler. Salazar has not yet had an easy inning in this game. Gave up a walk and a single in the first. Walk and 2 base hits in the second. Got Ian to fly out his first time up. There's ball 1 to Kinsler.
Ian Kinsler is 1 hit shy of a milestone. His next hit will give him 1,500 in his major league career. It's a lot of knocks.
Really kind of gives you an appreciation for the guys that can stick around long enough to double that and get 3,000 hits.
I know, right?
A couple of guys 4,000 hits. Health plays a lot into factoring in the 3,000 hit club without question. Kinsler, one of those guys that loves to go out there every day. Snapped his bat literally in half.
Yeah, Ian spent the first 8 years of his career playing for the Texas Rangers. Last 2, of course, in a Tigers uniform.
Ian has never reached 200 hits in his career. 188 was as close as he has come so far, and that was last year. One and 2. Bouncing ball to third. That is a foul ball. Pretty good play by Urshela regardless.
They really love his defensive skills, Urshela, down at third base. The only question is whether he'll be able to hit enough to be an everyday third baseman in the big leagues.
And that's a position where you've got to provide some offense.
Yeah, but he can definitely play some defense. Yeah, we're starting to see third baseman, first baseman, corner outfielders starting to get back to the old school philosophy. A lot of guys with power in those 4 positions.
Had him lunging that time into shallow right field, and it's going to be caught by Chisenhall, who called off Ramirez. 2 up, 2 down here in the third. In the driver's seat, brought to you by Kia. Well, Miguel Cabrera's numbers this season against the Indians are those that you see normally on video games.
Yeah, ridiculous, man. I mean, 17 stakes, 5 home runs. They've walked him 10 times, and he's hitting over 500. That alone is remarkable.
519. And yes, Cabrera had a hit in his first at bat, a single to left field.
And best fastball of the night thrown right there by Salazar at 96. It does not shock me that Miguel Cabrera is the one that's standing in the batter's box.
Bouncing ball to third. This time it's straight at Urshela. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Salazar. We'll go to the bottom of the third in Cleveland.
1-0 Tigers over the Indians here in Cleveland. It's a part of every September of a baseball season. The rosters expand. The Tigers added 8 players after September 1st. And it's a bit, well, it's a bit cramped in the clubhouse, the visiting clubhouse here in Cleveland, to the point that J.D. Martinez took it upon himself to put all of his stuff on a rack right in the middle of the clubhouse. And it was tweeted by his teammate Anibal Sanchez. I asked J.D. about it. He said, "There's so many people up here." He said it with a smile. And he said, "I like the space." So there he is in the middle of the clubhouse here at Progressive Field.
All right, Keats, thanks very much. That ball is driven to the gap at left center field. It's going to go up against the wall, and it's going to be extra bases as Urshela will cruise into second with a double. How about that, man? He's got a roller in there.
I walked in the clubhouse and I saw JD sitting there, but I did not notice that he had all of his clothes hung up on a rack, though. And that's the exact same way that he was sitting, with his feet up on something.
You know what I need? I need JD to come up to my house and just redo my closets, man, because he looks like he can do it. But it is cramped down there, there's no doubt. It's all the call-ups. Here is Jason Kipnis now. The tying run is second on the leadoff double. Kipnis a strikeout in the first inning. Indians has just picked up their second hit of this ball game. Kipnis showing bunt. And he'll take a ball low.
It's a good idea by Jason. He knows that he has a job to do. There's a runner on second and there's nobody out. So your job as a hitter is to at least advance that runner over to third. This year, Kipnis is not pulling the ball nearly as much as he did last year. He has become a much more complete hitter, driving the ball to left field, using center field, occasionally using right field too.
No sign of bunt there, and now he's up with the count 2-0. Kipnis has been really good here at home. In fact, a .368 batting average in his home ballpark. And that's the best home average in the major leagues. Now time called as Kipnis steps out. And Simon wants McCann out. Time for the Lowe's Never Stop Improving stat. And Jason Kipnis, one of those guys that was able to shake off a rusty 2014. He made an all-star team in 13, took a step back last year, but this year Rod back where he was.
Line drive percentage way up this year. And I talked to Ty Van Berkelio earlier this year. He's a hitting coach for the Tribe. And he told me that Jason tried to play through injuries all last year, and things just did not go well for him. A healthy spring training so far. It's been a healthy season for Kipnis.
Sure does make a big difference.
Ty Van Berkelio, he and I were teammates in Hiroshima for a couple of years. We were best buds too. You only had the two of you.
That's it, huh?
You had to bond, man.
Where'd you go eat?
Everywhere.
The 3-0 is taken for ball 4. That'll put 2 men on. Time for a game break now. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you. Here it is, 1-0. Tigers have the lead, but Alfredo Simon has some work to do now as Lindor stands in with 2 men on.
And the bunt is in order, and we've told you that Lindor has a lot of power. He hits extra bases, something he also does very well. He's good at getting the sacrifice bunt down. A lot of those already this season for the youngster Lindor.
11 sacrifice bunts. Leads the American League. And then he drops down another one. This will work. Simon's throw is right on the money. Lindor advances the runner.
That is an absolute perfect bunt. Perfect technique by Lindor. Ever so slightly bending the knees, getting the bat to the top of the strike zone, and then catching the ball with the bottom half of the bat to make sure that the ball went down on the ground. It's a nice job.
So Lindor is obviously one of those guys that coming up in professional baseball and even before realized that sacrifice bunting might be a big part of his game.
No doubt. No question about that.
He perfected it.
He looked good doing it.
Got 12 of them now to lead the American League. And here's Brantley to try and drive in 2.
It might not be all bad to walk Brantley here. They got a base open. He's 11 for what? 21 in his career against Simon.
Brantley reaching on a fielder's choice in his first at bat.
Real quiet approach. And for Michael Brantley, not a lot of moving parts.
Yikes. 524 is what that computes. Strike 1 called. Brantley. Brantley had some back problems early in the season, so that kind of got him off to a slow start. Just look at the numbers on Simon. But as the season has progressed, he has been where he's expected to be offensively.
Yeah, he really had no spring training this year, Mario. He missed a lot of time in the Cactus League out in Arizona during the course of spring.
And really, when you look at Brantley's numbers overall in his career, 331 versus Tigers pitching. Been a nemesis.
He's been that guy.
Grounded foul, 0-2 on Brantley.
His nickname is Dr. Smooth.
That nickname fits Brantley as well as any nickname fits any big league.
It really does.
I mean, just by his persona and the way he carries himself, the way he plays the game.
Quiet leader. 318 on the batting average department for Michael Brantley. Unfortunately for him, he's going to finish, well, at least second. And Miggy's not coming back to the pack.
Not likely. 351 for Cabrera, zeroing in on batting championship number 4. Popped him up. This will not get the run in. Cabrera coming over. And there are 2 gone now. Runners holding. He'll bring up Carlos Santana. It's not been often in which Brantley has not been able to get the job done against the Tigers, but Simon got him good there. Now Santana, who has a single in this game. Hitter batting from the left side against Alfredo Simon, and now again he wants McCann for the second time in this inning to come out. Runners at second and third. Simon really doesn't want to be guessing here. Santana 15 home runs. In fact, he's the all-time home run leader for the Indians in their history for switch hitters. Got 113 of them. And he pops this one up. Shallow right field. Kinsler going back to the grass. And that is that. The threat is over. Simon, nice job of pitching out of trouble. this series. The Tigers will have J.D. Martinez leading it off, and he is continuing to climb, well, a bunch of lists. Here's the latest.
Well, every time we compile a list regarding home runs, J.D. Martinez is on that if it's a 2-year span. 59 home runs for J.D. since he has put on a Tigers uniform, only a few ahead of him. Rocky Calavito, Fielder, Palmer, Tettleton, and the big fella.
So Martinez leads it off, and he skies one in the air to left field. Hit pretty good, but it's going to stay in the park as Brantley camps under it.
And second time today that J.D. Martinez has swung at the first pitch and hit the ball into the outfield. This is why, though, if you look at Salazar, most of his success against him comes on first pitches. .365 batting average, and he's given up 7 home runs this season on first pitches. That's because he throws so many fastballs. In this game tonight, he's already thrown 80% fastballs of the 50 pitches he's thrown.
10 of 13 on first pitch strikes. He'll miss there. 1-0 on Victor Martinez.
Not a strikeout yet for Salazar, but if you look over his game log over the course of the year, in the games where he doesn't have a lot of strikeouts, he usually goes very deep in the game.
And if you look at his game log, you will see that he has had 5 games of 10 or more strikeouts this year, including an 11 punch-out game versus Detroit in April. Long time ago. 1-1 is hammered toward right field. On the move is Chisenhall, still going, reaching, and making the catch.
That is a really nice play for a guy that just learned how to play right field. That is an outstanding jump and a direct route to take a double away from Victor Martinez by Lonnie Chisenhall.
And when you say he just learned to play right field, I mean, you mean it. I mean, he went down in June to the minor leagues and asked to be converted to an outfielder.
Yeah. And he took it seriously, obviously realizing that the players they had here, and Brandon Moss and David Murphy, they weren't producing in the outfield, nor was Bourne, nor was Swisher. He looked at it as an opportunity to play in the outfield, and after they traded all 4 of those guys away, that opportunity presented itself.
And Castellanos is up there. A couple of deep fly ball outs for Salazar. Castellanos 0 for 1 with a ground out. Five in a row retired now by Salazar.
And Salazar has not made many mistakes with his fastball here this evening. Usually when he goes up against Tigers bats, he just simply tries to overpower them, and with mid-90s fastball right down the middle, and they've kind of had their way against him. Today he's been on the edges. Here's an example of it. 93 on the black outside.
Two and one on Castellanos. Swing and a miss. 96 from Salazar.
Just about every single fastball to all the hitters so far tonight, Salazar has gone away with that fastball. Not many fastballs inside at all.
And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Strike 3.
Ooh.
6 in a row retired by Salazar as he records his first strikeout of the game. Wild card leading Yankees and the Tigers and Indians square off in a game you can see only on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on Fox and 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live as well on Fox Sports Go.
Oh boy, is that a big series in New York this weekend.
Well, you're going to see a lot of big series, I guess, the final 3 weeks here now. Some divisions will be decided. Wild card spots up for grabs. Here's Lonnie Chisenhall to get it started in the bottom of the 4th. Simon, a nice job by getting the pop-ups. Brantley and Santana. Chisenhall fly to center field back in the 1st inning. Indians stranded 2 last inning after the 2 pop-ups. What's your opinion on that sacrifice bunt by Lindor there? It was only the 3rd inning. He's been pretty hot lately.
I don't have a problem with it, to be honest with you.
Here's the 0-1. Ball high, 1-1.
I mean, you got Michael Brantley up there in a situation where you've got runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, and I'll take my chances that way.
Lindor sacrificed, moving the runners to 2nd and 3rd, and then the 2 pop-ups from their 3 and 4 hitters. Here's a swing and a miss. 1-2 the count on Chisenhall. Almonte and Gomes to follow here the 4th. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers. No runs, 2 hits for the Indians.
You'd have let him swing away?
Well, there's a wave and a miss. I am not totally against the bunt. I think there are situations late in games like, leadoff double in the 9th inning of a tie game, maybe bunt in the 3rd, where you can score them several different ways without the benefit of a hit. Lindor's been swinging a hot bat.
There was a situation at Comerica Park, I believe it was just a few days ago, when the Indians were there, when it was a bunting situation for Lindor, and Francona took the bunt off. It was the 6th inning
against Verlander.
Yeah, against Verlander. Verlander thought he was bunting, and Verlander threw him a fastball right down the middle. He doubled the drive in a couple of runs.
Here's Almonte. Ball 1.
You can factor in a lot of different things. I mean, Terry Francona might be thinking the fact that they've had no success whatsoever against Simon. If they could push a run or 2 across the board, they might be able to rattle him a little bit.
Almonte struck out his first time up. Well, I think the point that you brought up, probably the key point in the whole equation, is that Brantley was due next. And he was going to give his number 3 guy a shot to drive in a couple of runs.
And even had they walked Brantley, and now you have your 4 or 5 guys coming up. So
2-0 on Almonte. That's in there, a strike call, 2-1.
That's what Simon's been doing a lot of, and he talked to John Keating before the game today about pitching backwards. This is a predictable fastball count, 2 balls, no strikes, and he throws the splitter up there to the youngster, and the youngster could not pull the trigger.
Here's the 2-1. Tried to drop down a bunt and catch the 3rd baseman Castellanos deep, but he couldn't get it in fair territory.
Well, had he gotten it down, the youngster could have walked to first base. That's how deep. And Castellanos is playing at 3rd.
Two and 2 on Abraham Almonte. Three balls, 2 strikes.
Pitch count in pretty good shape tonight for Simon. Only 47 thrown so far.
Combs waiting on deck. Fouled away.
And nearly 1/4 of those pitches were thrown to Kipnis to lead off the game.
Yeah, good point. He eventually struck out Kipnis back in the 1st inning. And there you have it, 18 in that 1st.
That's not bad. 10 pitches per inning. 2nd, 3rd, already 10 in the 4th.
The 3-2. Driven high in the air and deep into right. Way back. This ball is going to go, and that ball is way out of here. It's a long home run for Abraham Almonte.
That is the first home run that the Cleveland Indians batters have hit off of Simon this year, and this is his 5th start against them.
A no-doubter.
Looked like a split-fingered fastball that kind of tumbled right into the happy zone of Abraham Almonte, and he just simply dropped the barrel of the bat in the area that the ball was floating to and connected and hit it about 360 feet.
The Indians tied the game with a home run by Almonte. Here is Yan Gomes. Cues one toward first base. Simon will have to get over there, but Miggy's going to take it himself. 2 gone. We'll bring up Jose Ramirez. The 4th home run of the year for Almonte, who hit a grand slam against Jared Weaver about a week ago against the Angels. He's got some power, and he put it on display here tonight. Ramirez grounded out 6-3 in his first at bat. That's in there for a strike.
Jose Ramirez has surprising power as well. He homered yesterday. He also homered the previous day, once from the right side and once from the left side.
Here's the 0-1.
Little Johnny Cueto in that last delivery there by Alfredo Simon, huh?
I was thinking the same thing. No dreads, though.
Cueto rubbing off on our players now.
1 ball, 1 strike. Drilled to center field. That's a base hit, maybe more. It's going to split the gap. Martinez will run it down to the warning track. This might be 3. Nope, he's going to hold up with a double. Ramirez, a 2-out, 2-base hit.
Well, it's time for Simon to make an adjustment now. And the home run was on a split-fingered fastball. This double was laced into the right center field gap on a curveball. Apparently now the Tribe are starting to look for off-speed pitches. So now it's up to Simon to make the adjustment to go back to a few more fastballs. He was thinking 3.
He was. And I thought he had it.
That's where you got to rely on your third base coach. He should have been looking over at his third base coach, and then maybe he would have gotten some direction as to what to do, because he appears to be upset at himself that he didn't try to stretch that double into a triple.
Here's Giovanni Urshela, 2-base hit back in the 3rd to get things started. And he is hit by the pitch. Urshela is drilled by Simon. Well, the umpire didn't signal. Now he's finally signaling take your base. Urshela being looked at.
It's a 2-seam fastball that runs in on Urshela and hit him off the right elbow.
Ouch. No padding there. Two on now with 2 outs. It's going to bring up Kipnis. Kipnis, a walk and a strikeout. The Indians trying to take their first lead of this ballgame.
And Kipnis played his college baseball at Arizona State, as did Andrew Romine and Ian Kinsler for 1 year. Now their former coach at ASU is managing in the big leagues too.
How about that?
Pat Murphy is managing the San Diego Padres. And I believe Arizona State has more active players now in the big leagues than any other college.
Kipnis tried to hold, couldn't do it. He went around, signals Mike Estabrook at 3rd.
And it looks like to me that Simon has gone back to the fastball. He hit Urshela, unfortunately, on a good 2-seam fastball, and that was a good cut fastball inside to Kipnis. the mix today so far in 55 pitches for Simon. 51% fastball, 49% off speed, so nearly 50-50.
Home run here by Almonte has tied the game with 2 outs, a double by Ramirez. Urshela hit by the pitch.
You have to be smart here if you're Alfredo. Really no need in throwing a strike here to Kipnis. Throw him a fastball up to see if you can get him to pop up. And if you do throw a breaking ball, you have to make sure you bury it down in the bottom of the strike zone and you force McCann into blocking it.
One ball, one strike. Simon has had only one 1-2-3 inning, and that was back in the second.
Even though he beat them for the 4th time just 5 days ago, he was effectively wild in that game. He walked 4 in that particular outing against the Tribe.
Kipnis waiting on a 1-1. Pulled on the ground to second, right at Kinsler, and that's going to end the threat. However, the Indians able to tie it up in the Almonte home run. We go to the 5th. Brought to you by the San Bernstein Law Firm, official legal services sponsor of Fox Sports Detroit. Bell Tire, get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. All roads lead to Cleveland tonight, where the Indians and Tigers are tied at 1 as we go to the top of the 5th inning here at Progressive Field. Got the bottom 3 coming up against Salazar here in the 5th inning. It'll be McCann, Romine, and then Gose.
And McCann had an outstanding at bat his first time up today, which resulted in a base on balls. He saw 14 pitches from Salazar.
So McCann had a walk and a run scored in the second. Came around with the only Tigers tally tonight. And he shoots that one to right field. That'll be a base hit. McCann starts it off with a single here in the 5th. It'll bring up Romine.
And Brad Ausmus has a similar situation here himself. Although Romine doesn't play every day, like we were talking about Lindor regarding a bunting situation. But Romine can really handle the bat. And you got a Gose in that on-deck circle who's been hot lately.
Base hit back in the second.
You could hit and run. You could do a lot of different things with Romine. It's like Urshela anticipating a bunt.
Shoot it foul down the left field line, 0-1. Romine was 3 out of 9 in that series against the Rays. Made a couple of good defensive plays as well. He's just solid wherever you put him on the infield. And he has started every infield position except catch and pitch, of course. Good block there by Gomes. I was talking to Romine yesterday and asked him what position do you enjoy playing the most on the infield?
Shortstop.
Yeah, I mean, and he didn't hesitate either.
I just guessed that.
And then I said, well, what position do you feel you're the best at? And he said, well, I think I'm pretty good at all of them. Didn't really answer it. And he really is. I mean, you can put him at second base. He'll turn the double play. You can put him at third base. He's got the reactions and the instincts to play that position.
He also has the support of his manager. And Brad absolutely loves Andrew because of his versatility and the fact that he does not complain about the lack of playing time. And he's an outstanding teammate.
1-2. And he got him strike 3. Salazar struck him out with a wrinkle in one there.
Let's take a look at the big boy, big play of the game. If you didn't see this, Anthony Gose, his first time up, he hit a ball in the right field. The right fielder came up with it. There 1 run scored. Gose got in a run down. And then the right fielder, Lonnie Chisenhall, came all the way from right field to grab the throw and was able to throw the ball home and throw out Andrew Romine. They reviewed it, and the call was overturned.
Gose batting .260 now. He's got that average up, and he looks at ball 1. I was on the elevator last night with Gose at the hotel, and I got off the floor before him, and as the door was opening, what do you think Gose said?
Good night.
Take the stairs.
Oh, because you went from 6 to 7?
Yeah, I went from 6 to 7. Take the stairs, he said. Gee, that's a new one. Hadn't heard that before, Anthony.
You should have told him if I had your young legs, I would take the steps.
No kidding.
Not to mention you're carrying that big old suitcase.
Dude, I'm carrying 3 bags, and he wants me to carry him up a flight. He was laughing. He was good.
He's good, man.
Yeah, he's a really good guy. 2-0 on Gose.
Good hitters count for Anthony. And usually in this particular count, 90% of the time, 90% of the time, Salazar throws a fastball.
Lifted toward left on a line. It's going to be caught there. Brantley hauls it in. There are 2 gone. Well, just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one to look forward to, Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Rajai Davis is running back to the dugout. Apparently, he wants a different bat.
Or that bat that he looked at might have had a little hairline fracture in it or something.
One on with 2 outs. Rajai with a walk and a fly out.
He's got his doubles bat now, which will score McCann.
This is a doubles bat.
Hey, watch.
Okay, I'm going to hold you to it. Line drive. It's a singles bat.
Okay, single there.
All right, we'll take it. That'll put 2 men on. I told Rajai yesterday we did a side-by-side with him and Gose, timing him from first to third.
Right.
He says, did I win? Did I win?
You know, he lost. Did you tell him?
I had to tell him he lost by a hair.
That was funny stuff. That's a real good at-bat here. It's a fastball up. And right-handers, they can climb that ladder and get to a mid-90s fastball a little bit easier than left-handers can. Lefties really like the ball down. Right-handers, they can go down. They can also go up as well and hit a really good fastball. I don't know why that is, but it's been the norm for a long time.
Well, it's going to set up Kinsler. He has flied out to right field twice in this game. Now Salazar has trouble here after retiring 6 in a row. He's given up a couple of hits.
Most of his trouble today has really come to the bottom of the Tigers batting order for the most part.
He looks at ball 1. Kinsler 166 hits, good for 2nd in the American League. Driven again to right field, slicing away. Chisenhall, running catch in the corner. And that'll end the threat for the Tigers here in the fifth. No runs, 2 hits, 2 left. Tigers baseball tonight presented by Bell Tire.
One back here in Cleveland. It was on my list of things to do, to talk to James McCann about manicure, because you will see catchers wearing nail polish, especially in night games, so the pitchers can see the signs more readily. Turns out, and I find out, it's not nail polish at all. Mario and Rod, it's stickers, and there's actually a company that makes sheets of stickers that are shaped like fingernails. The company's called Game Signs, and so the catchers sort of apply the stickers before a particular start. And James says he wears orange as the ball comes right in our direction on the road, and white when they're at home for the most part. But if his team is on a winning streak, of course you have to stay with the same color stickers game to game to game.
I see. I did not know that. I had no idea there were stickers.
I did not either. I wanted to see how the nail polish was applied. Turns out it's just stickers.
Is there a reason why there's orange on the road and white at home?
I think it's just superstition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How come
baseball players.
How come we didn't think of that? We could have patented that.
We could have.
I know.
Hey, John, you be careful down there. You remember, it's a hot spot down there where you're sitting right now.
A couple of years ago, I got it pretty good down here.
But just be careful. You're looking sharp tonight, too.
Thanks.
Hey, by the way, Keats, nice Ohio State colors.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, too.
That has been pointed out to me, and I will tell everybody back home in the great state of Michigan, it is happenstance. Of course, Mario, you don't care what I wear as long as it's not maize and blue, right?
Well, I wouldn't go that far, but if it's green and white, all the much better. All right, Keats. Thanks, buddy.
Okay.
Well, Brantley will step in now with one out here in the fifth inning.
You learn something every day.
Yep. Well, they have stickers now.
I'm sure, though, that it started out with polish.
Oh, yeah,
and then someone, got smart and said, you know what? Let's get these guys something for the fingers that's a little easier to put on, a little easier to take off.
Just like back in the day, it started with burning a cork to put the eye black under your black. Now they just use stickers.
Right.
Here's the 1-0 pitch to Brantley. He sends a ground ball to first, straight at Miguel Cabrera, and that's going to be a 3 unassisted. Brantley's 0 for 3. 2 gone.
Menards brings you the big money encounter. Yeah, the biggest at-bats of the game. They came in the third inning. It was runners on second and third. Fastball inside to Brantley, breaking ball down. Then he got it inside with another breaking ball. So last pitch, Brantley was thinking for 0-2, and then he came back with the identical pitch. Fastball inside to the number 4 hitter, Santana, and got him to pop up. So just a really nice job there of navigating through the teeth of their offense with runners on second and third and just 1 out.
And there's not been a lot of offense tonight on either side. 1-1 is our score here in the fifth. And Santana looks at the ball high. Single pop-up for Carlos Santana.
Does not hit for much average, but he has a lot of power in his bat. 15 homers already this year for Santana. Switch hitting first baseman.
Now Simon peering in. Here's the 1-0. Santana started the year last year as their starting third baseman, and they got him out from behind the plate. He suffered a couple of concussions in his catching days, and they felt that catching was wearing him down. And they had hoped for more offensive production from Santana by moving him to the infield. They have since moved him to first base, but as you mentioned, Rod, he's never really hit for a lot of high average.
No, he really hasn't. He's got a really good eye at the plate. He's got tremendous power from both sides. But when runners are in scoring position, he does not come up with the big hit.
Here's the 2-1. Big swing there by Santana.
There's that slow curveball at 78 miles an hour. Coming off the fingertips very nicely tonight for Alfredo.
2 balls, 2 strikes. The only blemish on Simon's mark tonight is the home run by Almonte in the 4th inning. Here's the 2-2. Just off the plate, 3-2.
The Indians basically stole Santana from the Dodgers. They traded Casey Blake to the Los Angeles Dodgers, and they got back a switch hitting catcher who now holds the record for their franchise in home runs by a switch hitter. Casey Blake was a good player, though, in Cleveland.
He was a solid player here. Now Alfredo with the 3-2. Santana rolls it foul.
Yeah, he's got him set up for a fastball anywhere right now. Doesn't have to be a strike. And Santana will swing it. And if he doesn't want to swing it, you let him go down to first base, because he's the one guy right now, the remaining of the batting order, that can hurt you with a home run ball.
And they've got Chisenhall waiting on deck. The 15 homers right now, the most of anybody in the lineup this year for Cleveland.
So if you walk him, so be it. Fastball inside.
Missed it high and outside, and there's another walk for Santana, his 91st of the year, which leads the American League. 2-out base runner. We remind you to support breast health awareness and Pink Out the Park on September 18th when the Tigers host the Royals at 7:08. First 10,000 women receive a free Pink Out the Park Infinity Scarf. If you'd like tickets, visit tigers.com or call 866-66-TIGER.
Somebody said you have a pink suit you're going to wear that night.
And somebody is leading you astray. There is no pink suit.
No.
Pink shirt maybe, pink tie, pink socks, no pink suit.
She's sporting her pink tonight.
Unless I go into Simo's closet and pull out a pink suit.
Well, you might be able to find some pink in that closet.
That's driven to left field, and a great running catch there by Rajay Davis.
I see you, Rajay.
That ball was headed up against the wall to score a run. Rajay with a great running play in left. No runs, a walk, 1 man left, and a fine defensive effort. Well, Miguel Cabrera, career against the Indians. These numbers are just, well, they continue to impress. 360 lifetime.
And Mickey says he does what he wants to do with no apologies.
Yeah, well, nicely played there. And Mickey will start things off here in the 6th inning. He'll look at a strike from Salazar.
Salazar has led Miguel off with first pitch fastball strikes in all 3 of his plate appearances tonight. And which is a recipe for success usually if you can get ahead of the hitter.
And he's gotten ahead of the hitter now 0-2.
And he saved his best fastballs this evening too for Mickey. 96 with a fastball against Miguel the last time Miguel was in the batter's box. That last fastball 95.
Just got a piece of it.
What a pitch. I mean, what a pitch. Did you see that thing come off the table?
And Cabrera, unfortunately, just got a piece of it.
That's what great hitters do. Able to nick it. That thing just fell off the table right there. Looked like a fastball all the way until like the last 2 feet.
Bouncer back up the middle. Nice backhanded play by Ramirez. He has time. 1 out. Hey, the Red Wings 2015 Hockey Fest returns to the Joe Louis Arena on Sunday, September 13th. Enjoy an unforgettable day of hockey-related activities, including a chance to meet current players and Red Wings alumni. For Hockey Fest tickets, call 313-471-7575 or DetroitRedWings.com.
Whether it's Tiger Fest or Hockey Fest, it's always a fabulous time for the fans to get up and close and personal, shake some hands, get some autographs, and really get a chance to know their players.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is whether it's Red Wings or Tigers, they're just so excited about the upcoming season.
Those things sell out in a matter of minutes.
That one missed up high. No balls, 2 strikes. JD fly balls to center and left field. Here's the 0-2. That's popped up but headed back to the seats, and this one gets out of play. Martinez now has been in the cleanup spot for what, about 2-3 weeks. He has taken over for Victor Martinez, who has slid down to the 5 spot in the Tigers lineup. Swing and a miss. 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and that's out number 2.
It's one thing that JD really has not been able to do a lot of, and that's have success against Salazar. He has taken him deep, but by and large, Salazar has had JD's number. It's a 91-mile-per-hour. It might have been a slider.
Well, it kind of looked like it.
Didn't look like the four-seam fastball he's been featuring most of the night.
Victor takes strike 1. It is only the 3rd strikeout of the night for Salazar.
16 of 23. He's doing a very nice job of attacking the strike zone and pitching to a lot of contact today, and that's why he's pitch counts in pretty good shape here in the 6th inning.
0-2. Way outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. .80 now for Salazar.
Only 1 stressful inning. That was the 2nd. And when the Tigers put 1 run on the board.
Right into the shift and right at Lindor. So Victor is out, and it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Danny Salazar.
pushed a run across the board in the second inning. That was Ghost with a base hit and a wacky play, which resulted in Romine finally being thrown at a home plate, trying to score the second run of the inning. And then it was the Cleveland Indians who got on the board in the fourth inning. It was a solo shot off the bat of Abraham Almonte.
Well, the Indians coming up now with Almonte to lead it off. As we go to the bottom of the sixth, 1 run, 5 hits for the Tigers. A run on 4 hits for the home team. And Simon goes to work. Almonte takes ball 1 inside. Tigers have won 10 of the 15 these two teams have played this year, but the Indians have won 3 of the last 4. Including 2 out of 3 at Comerica Park. Here's a bunt down the first base line. Forget it. That'll be a bunt single for Almonte.
Simon has had a difficult time getting over to cover first base all night long. And once this ball left the bat of Almonte, there was absolutely no way that Alfredo Simon was going to beat him to the bag. No way whatsoever. You cannot. He couldn't have taken it and rolled it in a better spot.
So Almonte's had himself a pretty good night offensively. Get something started here in the 6th. That'll bring up Yan Gomes. Alfredo's gotten Gomes to hit the ball on the ground twice tonight. Let's see if he can do it again.
And that would be a thing of beauty if he would be able to accomplish that. Gomes, dead pull hitter.
Drives one to left field. Rajai Davis going back to make the catch right at the warning track.
Another great jump by Rajai.
Time for a game break now. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, there you see the standings in the Central. The Cardinals 88 victories already. 4.5 up on the Pirates.
That's a good division, man. At the beginning of this season, a lot of people thought that the AL Central was the best division in baseball, but that National League Central division with St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and Chicago, 3 of the best teams in baseball. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, and it looks like the Chicago Cubs are going to have to play a 1-game play-in.
Really stacked up in the Central. As you mentioned, some good teams. That Cubs team, I know the Tigers beat them twice in Chicago, but they're impressive.
They really are, man. A lot of people want to give Joe Madden a lot of credit, and rightfully so. He's a tremendous manager, but them players and the way that they were scouted and the way that they were developed in their minor league system, and now they've got themselves a true ace. And I'm not talking about John Lester either. I'm talking about Jake Arrieta, who is in the Cy Young conversation for me, and it might be tough not to give it to him over even Greinke and Kershaw.
And Kershaw, right? 1 ball, no strikes on Jose Ramirez. And Almonte draws another throw. Ramirez had a double to the gap his last time up. Tied at 1 here in the 6th inning. Indians have a man on, a man out. Runner goes. And going to be tough for McCann. His throw is high. Safe at second base is Almonte. That's his 4th steal of the year.
Alfredo gave James McCann no opportunity to throw out Almonte here. He had a nice running jump, and then he bounced the baseball. And then by the time that McCann was able to gather himself, he had to throw from his knees, and Ian Kinsler had to jump up to prevent the ball from going into center field. But Simon really gave him no chance to throw.
It'll put the go-ahead run into scoring position with 1 out. And it's 2-0 on Jose Ramirez. Make it 3-0 on Ramirez. Giovanni Urshela waiting on deck, the number 9 hitter. Pitch. Ball 4 low. He walked him on 4. That'll put 2 on. Second walk in as many innings.
Now stepping in for the Indians.
Third walk of the game for Simon. Bring up Urshela. Got on base twice. He doubled in his first at bat. Was hit on the elbow in his last at bat.
Got that elbow wrapped up now.
Urshela just 23 years old. He had a little bit of power last year in the minor leagues. Hit 18 home runs, getting a good long look this year at the major league level. Was recalled in June from AAA.
He's getting a nice long look. He's pretty much been their everyday third baseman since coming up from the minors.
Simon again in need of a double play ball here. A couple of times Alfredo has not been on the same page with McCann. You see him there saying reshuffle the signals. So they'll go through it again. And now time called, and again McCann goes out to the mound. This has happened 2 or 3 times tonight.
Here's our high-speed pitch on Alfredo this evening, and it is brought to you by Xfinity. 94 has been his top fastball. That's pretty much where he clocks out and tops out at every outing. Every now and then he'll climb up to 95. But his 94, 95 has movement.
Up and in on Urshela.
Tigers as a team this year have turned 139 double plays. Only one team in the American League has turned more. That's the Texas Rangers. They've been able to turn 141 DPs.
Here's the 1-0. Ooh, in the dirt. Nice pick on the backhand by McCann. 2-0. Simon wants a new baseball. It has been a bit of a struggle here. That bunt single by Almonte led things off.
Simon was working at a pretty nice pace before this game, before this inning.
Jason Kipnis, the top of the order, waiting on deck. 2-0 on Urshela. Had a rip and fouled it back. 2-1.
Yeah, he did.
Simon trying to keep his perfect 4-0 record against the Indians intact in this one. Tigers got him a run in the second. And then Almonte homered in the fourth to tie it up. Now Simon ready with the 2-1. Little pop up down the first base line, back out of play.
And John Adams out there in left field still beating them drums. He out there by himself pretty much these days.
Not a whole lot of folks surrounding John Adams.
He gets them going, doesn't he? He's dressed the same every night too.
Well, I guess I never noticed that, but he is.
Yeah. little tired right now. He'll get it going in a minute.
The pace of Alfredo Simon has tired him out.
He gets a break in between.
80 now for Simon in this game. There he goes.
He got a nice life, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, just how old do you think that drum is?
It's got some mileage.
That's driven toward the gap in left center field. Going to get down and go to the wall. This might get 2 runs in. They're going to try and score the back runner. That's Ramirez, and he will score. Urshela with his second double of the night, and the Indians have their first lead.
Pretty much all the damage tonight done against Simon have come from hitters 6 through 9, and all that damage done on off-speed pitches. They have not been able to barrel up his fastball this evening, but the breaking ball and the splitter, those 2 pitches have accounted for every single run they've scored so far. Ramirez on first base got some wheels.
Doesn't he, though? I was watching him all the way. Look at him go.
Oh, he's flying.
And he scored with ease without a throw. Urshela's big night just got a little bit bigger, and it's 3-1 Cleveland. Going to bring up Kipnis after the Jeff Jones visit. Kipnis had a base on balls in the third, otherwise 0 for 2. He'll drive that one foul to left field, 0-1. Ian Kroll starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen. Kroll, one of the call-ups here in the month of September for the Tigers. Been up and down several times this year.
And 5 hits given up by Simon in this game, and at least 4 of the 5 have come on off-speed pitches.
Awkward swing there by Kipnis. No balls, 2 strikes. Still only 1 out of the inning. Lindor is waiting on deck. Kipnis spent some time on the DL this year back in August with some shoulder inflammation. Trying to drive in a run here with 1 out. And he chops one foul to first base.
Ooh, Sandy Alomar Jr. right through the 5-hole.
Oh, that's not good. Right through the legs. And it wasn't even hit hard.
He was a good catcher, though. Biggie giving him the business.
Got to get him the business on this.
I mean, look at it. Right through the 5-hole.
Oh, 2 on Kipnis. Swing and a miss. Kipnis is out of there. Big out, 2 gone.
It's a much better split finger fastball here thrown to Kipnis to get the strikeout. Now this one he released it out in front and he buried it down to the bottom of the zone at 77.
5 strikeouts now for Simon, but 1 more big out to get here in the 6th. Lindor. Ground out, strikeout, sacrifice bunt. It was his 12th sack bunt of the year. Ground ball first base side, foul just outside of the bag. Lindor certainly has vaulted himself into the conversation for Rookie of the Year. Carlos Correa, the shortstop and the fine shortstop for the Houston Astros, probably is the leader in the clubhouse right now.
And you're talking about a couple of guys that started the season in the minor leagues for the first couple of months.
It's been pretty amazing. Although Lindor came in batting .309, best among American League rookies. He's trying to pick up Urshela, who's had a big 2-run double in this inning.
I believe both Correa and also Lindor are both from Puerto Rico too.
Chopper to first base, right at Miggy, and he'll take care of the side. However, the Indians get their first lead of the game on the 2-run double by Giovanni Urshela. Francisco Lindor winning possibly the Rookie of the Year. Here are the guys, the three of them that we consider the front runners.
Well, Lindor making a very strong case, even though he didn't come to the big leagues until June 14th. But he has 27 extra base hits, and his wins above replacement is 3.1. You take a look at Correa, he's been simply spectacular for the Houston Astros at the shortstop position, and the Miguel Sano guy. I mean, don't sleep on him. 16 home runs, 43 driven in, batting fourth for the Minnesota Twins, who we'll see on the second leg of this road trip.
Yeah, Sano had the game-winning home run for them last night, so he's had a good year as well.
This is the year of the rookie. I cannot remember in the 18 years that I've been broadcasting baseball that there's been this much young talent leave the minor leagues and come to the major leagues and make an immediate impact.
Nick Castellanos leading it off as we go to the top of the 7th. 1 ball, 1 strike on Nick.
These aren't just filler kind of rookies. These are all-stars.
Yeah.
Potential Hall of Famers down the line.
They're not rookies that get to the big leagues, maybe take a month or so to get used to the big league lifestyle, pitching, and all that kind of stuff. They're producing right away.
And the jump from AA, AAA to the major leagues is the biggest jump that you'll ever make. I mean, it's not even close, going from AAA baseball to the major leagues. But all the young players that have come up have made it look easy.
Crockett, the left-hander, warming up in the Cleveland bullpen.
Sometimes we forget how young the guy in the batter's box is right now. Castellanos, he's only 23.
Yeah, that's a good point. He was a high school draft. Chopper to third base, deep behind the bag, Urshela. And his throw is in time, 1 gone.
Look at the list of the players that have come up from the minors this year. I mean, this guy is incredible. That would be Bryant. You got Buxton, Russell, Correa. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on of young talent. Daniel Norris on that list. Noah Syndergaard.
Joey Gallo for the Rangers hits long home runs.
A lot of impact players, and the majority of them #1 draft choices.
Pretty good. Here is McCann now with 1 out. Salazar goes back to work and he fires a strike. 0-1. Only 1 run for the Tigers tonight. An RBI single by Ghost in the second. Salazar has taken over since. McCann a walk and a single, and he rips that one fair down the line at third base. That'll bounce around the corner. McCann takes a look and he's going to hold up with a single. One banged off the wall right to Brantley. And James on for the 3rd time. Tigers now have 6 hits. Here's Andrew Romine. Romine had a single in the second. He is 1 out of 2. He's also struck out. Good pickup there by Gomes.
That is not the easiest thing to do when a guy throws a 93-mile-per-hour fastball that you're expecting to be at your glove, and he bounces it. And then for you to be able to pick that ball in the dirt is incredible. McCann did that on a 98-mile-per-hour fastball, and they just repeat a homestand when Rondon bounced one.
Brian Shaw joining Crockett in the bullpen.
Shaw worked in last night's game.
Little chopper left side of the infield. It's going to get to the shortstop Lindor, who bobbles and has no play, and everybody is safe. Romine an infield hit.
Lindor is an outstanding shortstop, but I'm wondering if he was interrupted here by Urshela, the third baseman, cutting right in front of him. Because once he got to the ball, he just didn't make a clean exchange, and therefore couldn't get an out.
He might have been screened. So it's 1st and 2nd, 7 Tigers hits, tying runs aboard now here in the 7th. And now Anthony goes. RBI single for Gose. He's 1 for 2. Ball 1.
And Brantley in left field does not have a great throwing arm, but he's very accurate and he gets rid of the ball in a hurry. Therefore, you have to be careful on balls hit in his direction. Almonte, the youngster in center field, has a good arm. Chisenhall has just learned how to play the outfield, so he's still trying to get his footwork together to play the outfield.
Gose fouls it away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Those are all things that Dave Clark, the third base coach, has already thought about, and which will help him in making a decision. And should Gose get himself a base hit, he is one of your more animated third base coaches. Reminding guys on line drives, make sure you freeze, how many outs there are, what the count is. Look at the defenders and make sure you know where they're playing. He has to refresh the memory of all the guys of everything that I just told you. Basically every play. We'll go through it again. 1 out. Watch the line drive.
What's that right there?
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was like on a bobble.
Yeah.
May be running on. If he bobbles it, you got to give me a chance to send you home. I think that one was.
Way outside. Now it's gone 3-1 on Gose.
And that's what a good third base coach does. They do it every single pitch.
It's pretty good aerobics right there too.
Keep you in shape. Dave was a good hitter, man. He's #1 draft choice. Cleveland Indians back in the day. Turned into an outstanding pinch hitter later in his career.
And he lost him. Gose will get a walk, and now all of a sudden the Tigers have him loaded up with only 1 out. And here comes Terry Francona.
Bringing a hook with him?
It appears so. Rajai Davis will be stepping up with the bases full. The call has been made to the bullpen. And Brian Shaw will be summoned in to face Rajai Davis. They go to the bullpen. Wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back. Ball game. He's going to lean on his bullpen here, and here are the numbers on Danny Salazar. Ryan Shaw coming out of the bullpen.
And pretty much one pitch featured by Shaw. It's a cutter, and he throws that cutter 80% of the time at about 90 to 93 miles an hour. It looks like a fastball coming out of his hand, and then you get the slider action, but he calls it a cut fastball.
Well, he's got his work cut out for him, I know that. Rajai Davis will stand in now, and the base is full. Rajai single and a walk in this game. Shaw has 21 holds this year, which is 7th in the American League.
at Terry Francona telling everybody just how important this inning is for his team. Usually Shaw's the 8th inning guy, but he's in the 7th inning here tonight with the bases loaded.
Way outside of the backstop it goes. It pinballs up, and that'll score a run. Everybody moves up.
Yeah, there's that cut fastball that got away from Shaw, and the catcher Gomes could not help him out one bit.
3-2 ball game.
Look at this cutter. No chance. I mean, look at the break on that thing.
That run will be charged to Salazar. Makes it 3-2. And now the Tigers in good shape with runners at second and third. Davis fouls it back.
Ooh, Rajay had a good one to hit right there. That's that cutter that he starts right at your body, and then the natural action on it carries it right over the heart of the plate, and Rajay knows he missed a golden opportunity right there.
One ball, one strike. Romine to third, goes to second. Missed it outside, 2-1. This is the team high 63rd appearance for Brian Shaw. Now Rajay given time. Fouled away, back into the seats, and the count levels now 2-2. Kinsler is next. Davis a base hit away from giving the Tigers the lead. Popped him up right side of the infield. It's going to be Ramirez to the grass, and the runners will hold. 2 gone now. Fans, follow the Tigers wherever you are with MLB.com at bat, the #1 app for live baseball. And bat us up to the moment at any moment with in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, radio broadcasts, StatCast, and more. Get MLB.com at bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Well, it's up to Kinsler now here in the 7th. Simon looking on after giving up 2 in the 6th inning. Ian has hit the ball 3 times to the right fielder. The last time Chisenhall had to run it down in the corner.
He also has pretty good numbers against Shaw in his career. Ian is 4 for 10 against Shaw.
And he loops one back a second. That ball is going to drop, base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Ghost coming to the plate. The throw, the tag. He is safe at home plate. Kinsler gets it done. A 2-run single, and the Tigers have the lead. And Kinsler gets hit number 1,500 to give the Tigers the advantage. And we'll see if they want to challenge. They do. Well, right now the Tigers have a 1-run lead. And we'll see if it holds.
You had a feeling Ian would do something against Shaw. We just gave you the numbers. 4 for 10, which is a 400 batting average, and he was able to get a base hit. Goes coming all the way around from second in a very close play. Initially called save, but man, what a couple of nice tags by Yan Gomes today. Oh, that one's going to be reversed too. Looked out to me.
Yeah, I would agree. I think he made this be a really good shot right here. The problem is with the dirt, hard to tell, but it looks like he's out.
Tribe players are already walking off the field. That's how convinced this is going to be overturned.
That's never a good idea.
They're walking off the field.
I know, man, and it doesn't matter how close it looks or how clear it looks. You got to wait. but the Indians feel he's going to be called out. Worst case scenario, it is a tie game. Best case scenario, it's a 1-run lead for the Tigers.
How about Chisenhall? I mean, coming in on one hop, a converted third baseman to the outfield, and he throws out one of the fastest guys in baseball, and Anthony goes.
The call is safe at home. We'll see if it is going to stand. Anthony Gose is out. So give Kinsler a single and 1 RBI. The game is tied. Chisenhall with a terrific throw from right field.
Out on the play from the right fielder, you have to get a really good secondary lead. I don't think Anthony got the maximum secondary lead there. He kind of stopped, and then he had to start up again, and that's what allowed Chisenhall to throw him out. One of the things that you must do when you're in scoring position is you have to get the maximum lead possible. And here's another definitive look. That's the look they went by in New York, and that's what enabled them to overturn that call.
Well, we're all even again. 3-3 is our score as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning here in Cleveland. And Michael Brantley will lead it off. The Indians have Brantley, Santana, Chisenhall in the middle of their lineup. Simon goes to work, and Brantley takes ball 1.
And Simon has done exactly what Brad needed him to do here this evening. He's given the team some length as far as the start is concerned. That bullpen of the Tigers have been dipped into quite a bit lately. They will not have to use as many this evening.
Brantley has been handled tonight. He's 0 for 3. Driven high in the air to right field. That ball is hit well to the track, to the wall, and it's gone. Michael Brantley with a solo homer here in the bottom of the 7th.
His 14th of the year. Just like that, they take the lead back.
Well, Brantley gets his 79th RBI, and tie didn't last long.
Well, Brantley's a solid player. That's a 93 two-seam fastball that it got way too much plate for Brantley, and he went down to get it and was able to hit it out of the ballpark.
We'll bring up Carlos Santana. Ball 1 high to Santana's 2nd home run of the night. The other, the solo shot by Abraham Almonte. Tigers gave up what, 4 home runs last night, I think, to Tampa.
They did, 4 solo shots.
Solo shots, yeah. So the last 6 have been solo shots versus Tigers pitching. Hardy, the lefty, Wilson, the righty. Bouncing ball, right side of the infield. Santana is out of there. And that 4-3 rollout. 172 homers allowed this season. That's the most in the major league. Whoa. I didn't realize they'd given up that many. They're on pace for 198.
That would be the 3rd most in team history.
Now Chisenhall.
Chisenhall, a converted third baseman, has made a couple of nice running grabs in the outfield and a really nice throw as well to get ghosts.
Romine can't quite get there. It'll drop in a base hit.
And now a bloop single.
Well, and you talked about how really it is kind of amazing for a guy who's never played the outfield.
He worked hard at it down in the minor leagues, and he's continued to work very hard at it, and he realizes that it's a golden opportunity for him, who kind of lost his position at third base, but he's found a home in right field. Just over the glove of Andrews.
So a 1-out single, and here is Almonte. The Indians now have a total of 8 hits. Abraham 2 out of 3, the homer, and a bunt single, which got it started in the 6th inning. And he flies this one in the air to left. It'll be Rajai Davis camping under. 2 outs.
So Chisenhall has 2 assists in the game now.
He does, correct. We'll bring him beyond Gomes. Gomes 0 for 3. Hit a ball that appeared it was going to go to the corner and score a run in his last at bat, but Rajai Davis ran it down. A line drive to left field. It's in there, a strike call. Tigers had tied it up with a 2 in the 7th, and the Indians have gone ahead on the home run by Brantley. Playing to pull against Gomes. Swing and a miss. Fastball up.
They really have not had much success against the fastball tonight of Alfredo's. Most of the damage against him today has come on off-speed pitches.
Bottom of the order has done pretty good work for the Indians in this game.
They really have.
Done most of their damage. Runner goes. Here comes McCann's throw, and it's not in time. Stolen base.
Simon is about 1.5 seconds to home plate, which makes it nearly impossible for James McCann to throw out anybody. Even though McCann has an outstanding throwing arm, if the pitcher's 1.5, that means that base runner, he's halfway down to second before that ball even gets into the glove of James, and no shot at throwing out a guy who doesn't steal very many bases.
Meanwhile, 1 and 2 on Gomes. The 1-2. Drilled down the left field line. That ball is hooking, and it's going to be a fair ball. That'll get a run in. Gomes will pull in with a single off the wall and left. Just fair. And the Indians get the 2 runs back. It's 5-3. It's going to be it for Simon. Wilson will be coming in to face Ramirez. Alfredo departs, having given up 5 hits in this ball game. Wall side windows pitching change. We'll be back. Simon goes 6 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs to this point. Giovanni Urshela at the bottom of their lineup has done good work. 2 out of 2, couple of doubles, couple of RBIs. And now we've got a new Tigers pitcher. That'll be Mr. Wilson, the right hand.
And Wilson's pitched in quite a few games already this year. 53 up until this point. 220 earned run average, 38 strikeouts, 11 walks. He has had a really good season out of the Tigers bullpen. It's been a really bright spot down there all year long.
Brad was asked the other day who the MVP of his team was. He said, well, I mean, there are a couple of guys having a good year, and certainly a guy like Kinsler comes to the forefront, and JD, and he even named Wilson for the job he's done out of the bullpen. So here is Ramirez now with the runner at first base, 2 outs. He's had a double and a walk. And a ground ball on the very first pitch right to the second baseman Kinsler, who throws him out. So Wilson gets the job done on 1 pitch. On the way to the 8th we go. The Indians back up by 2.
season for Davis made it a 3-0.
Well, it was earlier today in the Tigers clubhouse, and Miguel Cabrera was walking across and planting himself right in the middle of some teammates on a sofa and asked someone to record what he was going to say. And it turns out it was happy birthday. And then we were trying to listen to who they were saying happy birthday to. Happy birthday, Michael Jordan. Yeah, Michael Jordan. Miguel Cabrera taping a greeting with his teammates to Michael Jordan. Anibal Sanchez popped up and photobombed the whole thing. But Miggy said to his teammates, yeah, I've got big friends. I've got Pele. He said happy birthday to Pele last week, and now Michael Jordan. So wherever you are, Michael, happy birthday.
Big-time company, man. Pele and MJ.
Yeah, what did Pele sent Miggy a message and congratulated him already for winning his 4th batting title.
All right, Rod, who's the biggest star of that trio?
Michael Jordan.
Michael Jordan over Pele? Worldwide?
And for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me.
Mickey, though, is climbing that list. And he'll start things off here in the 8th inning. The pitch from Shaw is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You can't get much bigger than Mike, man. He's a billionaire.
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't mean to put a dollar sign.
Is that with a B?
I didn't mean to put a dollar sign at the end of it, man, but he's got $1 billion.
Yeah, that makes him pretty high up there, I suppose. Here's the 1-1. Mickey sends a ground ball to third, backhanded by Urshela. What do you got, Keats? Let's go back down to you with an update.
He's
now.
got $1 billion too, I guess.
Well, we put our best investigators on it, and it turns out that it's not really Michael Jordan's birthday. It's in February. So maybe it was just a Michael Jordan and not the Michael Jordan.
Well, Keats, you know how we roll. We never let the truth get in the way of a good story.
So happy birthday, Michael Jordan, or a Michael Jordan. There are many, many Michael Jordans in the world.
I'm sure there's a Michael Jordan's birthday somewhere today.
His neighbor in Venezuela is Miguel Jordan.
There you go, Jordan.
All right, well, at least we corrected that.
How about that?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, well. Now, why would he just say happy birthday to Michael Jordan if it wasn't his birthday?
He might have been baiting the media down there or something. You know what I mean?
He might have. Here's J.D. Martinez. He fouls it back out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. That was funny. Well, for J.D., he is 0 for 3, couple of fly balls and a strikeout. Shaw came on and threw a wild pitch, gave up an RBI hit. There's a wave and a miss.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there thrown by Shaw. Does not throw many breaking balls. 80% of his pitches are cutters. That's a nice little curveball there at 81.
1-2. Way outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Victor Martinez on deck. Tigers down by 2. 5-3 is our score as we play here in the 8th.
And Francona trying to stretch a couple of innings out of Shaw today.
Cody Allen is their closer.
He came in with the bases loaded last half inning. Threw 16 pitches yesterday. 14 more here tonight.
1 out, nobody on in the 8th. Here's the 2-2. Line drive to left field, base hit. Single for J.D. Martinez with 1 out.
Broke his bat, but he'll take it.
Well, as promised earlier in the game, we've selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Here it is. Tweet your strongest fan photo to hashtag Detroit Data Strong Fan for a chance to have it featured in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. Now here is Victor. He has put the ball on the ground twice in this game. He's 0 for 3. He represents a tying run here in the 8th. And Martinez takes ball 1. It's been a struggle for Victor in the second half. And they are playing the shift against him here. The entire left side of the infield open. Now Shaw with the 1-0. Ripped to right field. That's going to get down, a base hit. Martinez will go to second, and the Tigers are in business now with 2 men on and 1 out.
And Brett Ausmus was talking about Victor before the game today and the fact that he's had to miss the last 3 games because of an illness. But before he missed those 3 games, Victor was starting to swing the bat a little bit better. He barreled this one up. He got one of those cut fastballs inside, pulled his hands in nicely, and hit a rocket into right field.
So 2 on with 1 out, and that'll bring up Nick Castellanos. Castellanos is 0 for 3. Nubbed off the end of the bat, foul. No balls, 1 strike. This inning starting like the last inning. Leadoff ground ball to third, but then 2 singles for the Tigers. He ended up getting 2 runs. There is the closer, Cody Allen, along with McAllister warming up.
Terry Francona really wants this game tonight.
One ball, 1 strike.
Every game important for the Tribe these days. 4.5 back in the wild card. Got a couple of teams to jump over.
Here's the 1-1. Driven toward left field. Ball hit well. On the move is Brantley, still going back. Looks up. It's against the wall. 1 run scores. Martinez gets to third. It's a double for Castellanos, and the Tigers are coming right back. 5-4 ball game.
Another slow breaking ball that's at the bottom of the strike zone, and a beautiful piece of hitting by the youngster Nick Castellanos, who hit the ball off the scoreboard in the outfield. Played very nicely by Michael Brantley, one-handed off the wall, which meant Victor Martinez, who was running from first, was being forced into stopping by Dave Clark.
That's going to be it for Shaw. They will go to the bullpen. 5-4 ball game now. Tigers have 11 hits. We'll be back. Out here in the 8th inning, and Nick Castellanos doubling off the wall in left field to make this a 1-run game, pushing the tying run to third, go-ahead run to second, and Cody Allen, their closer, coming out of the bullpen.
He's got good stuff. He's got a fastball that gets up in the mid-90s. He also has an outstanding breaking ball, and something else that he's been very good at this year, inherited runners. 22 of those, only 3 have scored. And you can see this is the 8th time this year he's trying to get a save of 4 outs or more.
Well, a 4-out save is one thing. A 5-out save is another thing. Second and third. And James McCann will be stepping in. And he has had a big night tonight. 2 singles, a walk, 2 runs scored.
And Tigers have a left-hander on their bench. As a matter of fact, they have a few left-handers on their bench. But Brad Ausmus electing to stay here with James McCann, who's had a nice night with the bat.
Infield in a couple of steps on the left side. Lindor is in a little bit at shortstop.
Yeah, you don't have to play in nearly as far as you normally would with a faster base runner on third base. But Victor not running well these days. Therefore, Terry Francona still able to play the infielders back enough to give themselves a chance to make a play on a ball should McCann hit something on the ground. Usually the infielders are at the cut of the grass. But even where they're playing, a ball hit on the ground, Victor's not going to try to score.
1 ball and no strikes on James McCann. Time called by McCann.
Allen really, in the last number of times he's seen the Tigers, his numbers not that good. 7 innings, 1 save, 8 earned runs against him in the last 7 innings.
Blocked there by Gomes. Now the count goes to 2-0.
So as good as he has been, trust me, that's in the back of his mind, the fact that he's had difficulty with this Tigers group in his last 7 innings.
Bottom of the lineup doing pretty good work for the Tigers. McCann's been on base 3 times. Andrew Romine twice. Ghost twice. A lot of production from the bottom 3. Swing and a miss, man. I think he came unglued there. 2-1.
Mid-90s fastball and thrown right by him. But that's exactly what you should be looking for. 2-0. You're looking for dead red. McCann wasn't trying to hit a single there either.
Two balls, 1 strike.
Now you really have to concentrate. You just have to put the ball in play somewhere.
2-2. McCann saw 14 pitches in that first at bat, and nearly as many in the next 3 at bats. Allen, after falling behind 2-0, brings home the 2-2. Swing and a miss to strike him out. 95 again.
He came back after falling behind James. 2 balls and no strikes with 3 fastballs, all 3 fastballs clocked at 95, and he's able to throw all 3 of them right by him.
Pretty good location with that one too.
Yes, indeed. That's a big out there for Cody.
So here is Romine now trying to come through with 2 outs. Kinsler had an RBI single with 2 away in the 7th. We'll see what Romine can do. Ball 1. (5-4). The Indians have the lead. We're in the top of the 8th inning. On Romine. Couple of singles for Andrew. An infield single back in the 7th inning helped spur that 2 runs the Tigers scored. They tied it up at that time, and then Indians came right back with 2 in the bottom of the 7th. Now the 2-0. There's the soft ground ball, base hit left field. 1 run scores. They're going to stop Castellanos at third base, and Romine gets it done with 2 outs in the 8th. It is a 5-5 game.
Just a beautiful piece of hitting here by Andrew Romine. Look at the emergency stance here. It's 2-0, and he's gone to his two-strike approach. And all he's trying to do is put the ball in play, hit it the opposite way, and he did so, hitting it right past their very talented shortstop, Lindor. Wise decision by Dave Clark to hold up Castellanos. He was not going to score on that ball. But how about Romine there? He went to his two-strike emergency stance there.
Romine gets his third hit, his 12th RBI. Boy, the bottom of the lineup getting it done for the Tigers tonight. We are even once again. Here is Ghost to try and give the Tigers the lead. And Anthony fouls it away 0-1. That run is charged to Shaw. The runner at third base, still his responsibility as well.
Romine has 6 hits in his last 3 contests. And then you go back to his last 36 games prior to that, he had just 7 hits. So he's gotten more playing time, and he's getting a whole lot more base hits. I bet those 36 at bats that he had where he was 7 for 36, I bet that's stretched out an entire month.
Well, the injury to Iglesias certainly has opened the door for a couple of guys, including Machado and Romine, who has played all over the diamond. Big 2-out hit for Andrew makes it a 5-5 game.
A blown save for Cody Allen. It's tough to get 5 outs as a closer.
Here's the 0-1. Strike called on Ghost, 0-2.
Now, if you're Terry Francona, you're wondering what you do next half inning.
Right.
Because you burned your closer, you burned your setup guy.
0-2 on Ghost. Fought that one off. Anthony stays alive.
And Cody throwing a lot more fastballs here tonight than he has in his previous outings against Detroit. Pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball and an outstanding curveball. Cody did not stay in the minor leagues very long before coming to the big leagues a couple of years ago. And he's been pitching at the back end of their bullpen since he came to the big leagues.
Gomes goes out in front for some defensive signals.
And he's going to tell the middle infielders what he's going to do with the baseball should Romine take off from first base, whether he'll throw through or whether he'll come up and fire to third or whether he'll just simply hold the baseball. But that's what those signs refer for, excuse me.
And again the 0-2. Checked it, and he went, says home plate umpire Ed Hickok. Settled in the inning. However, the Tigers battle back again. They get 2 here in the 8th, and we're all tied at 5.
Rajay Davis, man, has he been playing some outstanding defense, whether he's in center field or whether he's in left field. He's been taking a lot of base hits and a lot of potential doubles away from the opponents. This was a fine running grab here tonight, and that was with runners in scoring position. So the score would be different here had not Rajay made that play.
Well, the Tigers once again battled back. They scored 2 in the top of the 8th, just like they did in the top of the 7th. It is a 5-5 game.
And Tigers play outstanding baseball in this ballpark going back to the beginning of the 2013 season. Tigers have won 20 of 26 games against the Tribe right here.
And so Wilson goes back to work here in the 8th inning. Giovanni Urshela leads it off.
Seems unheard of that a team could have that crooked of a number against your team in your ballpark.
True story, though. It'll be Urshela and then Kipnis and then Lindor here in the bottom of the 8th against Alex Wilson. There's a little pop-up back a short. Romine goes out there and 1 gone. A Saturday MLB on Fox returns. The AL East leading Blue Jays take on the wildcard leading Yankees. And the Tigers and Indians square off in a game that you can see only on Fox Sports 1. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on Fox. 7 p.m. Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live as well on Fox Sports Go.
Toronto and the Yankee game was rained out tonight in New York.
Bad weather on the East Coast. It's going to be it for Wilson. Tigers go to the bullpen. Blaine Harding coming in to face Kipnis. And we'll be back. Night turned out to be the game-winning home run for the Mets over the Nationals. And what has Cespedes done since he was acquired, since the trading deadline? Well, all he's done is mashed, it appears. And the Mets, because of that, 25-11 since the trade deadline.
Did you see that dugout? How happy they were? I mean, that's one time where grown men are simply acting like kids.
Here's Kipnis to start things off here against Hardy. 1 out in the 8th inning.
Because of what Cespedes has done since putting on a Mets uniform, there are a lot of people out there that are going to give him some MVP votes. He's not going to win it, but he is going to get some serious consideration.
That's fly to center field for the out, and there are 2 gone now as Lindor will step in.
I mean, take a look at what they've done since he's gotten there to the previous time. They were pretty much dead last in offense until he arrived.
Well, the MVP is often tied to how your team does and the impact you have on your team and getting him to the postseason. And, well, all you can say is that Cespedes has done his job.
Well, he's going to be a free agent after this year. He couldn't have picked a better time to go off.
Lindor looks at a strike. 5-5 game here. We're in the bottom of the 8th. 2 out, nobody on. Lindor is 0 for 3. Does have a sacrifice tonight. Ball low.
It's a nice block here by McCann. Take a look at how he just kind of shuffles the ball out of his glove after he gets his body in the right position. Textbook. McCann is one guy that we kind of failed to mention because we watch him every single day. We were talking about all the other really young players that have come to the big leagues and have made, you know, a positive statement as far as their clubs are concerned. We didn't mention him, but man, we just kind of overlook him because we see him every day, but his name could have been very easily been on that list too.
He's had a great year. 2-2 on Lindor. Outside 3-2. Lindor has hit 8 home runs this year, but 7 of those have come from the left side of the plate. He's only hit 1 home run right-handed.
He nearly hit for the cycle yesterday. The only thing that was missing was a double.
And he's going to take his walk. 2-out base runner for the Cleveland Indians. That'll bring up Brantley, who hit a homer in the 7th inning.
It was almost like Hardy pitched around Lindor to get to Brantley, because Hardy doesn't walk many people.
Well, Brantley is .299 against left-handed pitchers.
That's what I'm saying.
And 3 for 9 against Blaine Hardy. Lindor, good speed at first base. 2 outs in a 5-5 game here in the 8th. And Brantley takes a swing and fouls it back. Brantley's home run in the 7th inning was his 14th of the year. Had a pretty good series in their just completed series against Chicago. Homered, knocked in 3 in that set. Lindor draws the throw. Oh, 0-1 on Michael Brantley. The 0-1 almost hit him. Here's Brantley career, and some of the actives against the Tigers. Only Denard Span has been higher.
And Denard Span and also Michael Brantley both have similar styles. They don't stride that much, kind of spread out, good fastball hitters.
Checked it. Did not go on the appeal, says Mike Estabrook.
Remember the last time that we were here and Michael's dad, Mickey, was in the stands, and this one Michael was really struggling in. And his dad was going through all those facial expressions and animations after every swing that Michael took that night. Daddy must have fixed him, though.
He must have, because he's had a really good year. Well, it's 2-1, and Lindor draws another throw. Tigers tonight about hit the Indians 12-9.
They're going to throw over one more time.
Lindor is 7 for 9 in stolen base opportunities this year.
If he does run with Brantley in that batter's box, he better make it with 2 outs, because Brantley can score him from first base on a double.
Now the 2-1. Strike call. 2-2 on Brantley.
Good breaking ball there thrown by Blaine. A predictable fastball count. Brantley was sitting on a fastball and he dropped that breaking ball in there at 83. That's the difference between a really good hitter and an average hitter in the big leagues. An average hitter still swings at that breaking ball even though he's sitting on a fastball.
And missed inside. Fill it now 3-2, and that'll mean the runner will get a head start here.
If you're Hardy, you may as well give the youngster Lindor your best move at least one time before throwing the ball home, just to see if he's over aggressive at first base.
And now Brantley will step out. 2 out, nobody on when Lindor walked, giving Brantley an opportunity here in the 8th. Runner going, and it's driven to right field and deep. That ball is down the line, and that ball is gone. Second home run of the night for Michael Brantley, and again the Indians go up by 2.
He's a Tiger killer. And we've well documented the fact that he just wears out Tigers pitching, and it really doesn't matter whether it's a right-hander or a left-hander. Looked like Blaine Hardy settled on an off-speed pitch. He did a changeup at 81, and that's after 3 consecutive off-speed pitches. Brantley had that one timed perfectly.
7-5 Cleveland. And so back and forth we go. Indians have scored 2 runs in each of the last 3 innings. There's a strike called on Santana. And the Tigers once again are going to have to answer. Here's the 0-1 pitch. High and away, 1 ball and 1 strike on Santana.
Yeah, the walk to the youngster Lindor, critical for Hardy.
Up and in, spun him out of there, 2-1. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, there were 2 out, nobody on. Lindor fell behind, then worked a walk, and Brantley delivered. Multi-homer game for Brantley.
Yeah, that is just the 3rd career home run surrendered for Hardy. Just the 3rd.
That's it. And the shallow left for Rajai Davis, and that will end the inning. However, again, the Indians get 2, and again, it's Brantley. 2-run shot. 7-5 Cleveland. Well, 7-5 is our score as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Tigers will need some more magic here. Michael Brantley's second home run of the game, a 2-run shot with 2 outs in the 8th. It's given Cleveland again a 2-run lead. It'll be the top of the order coming up against Cody Allen. And the first one is in there for a strike on Rajai Davis.
Yeah, nice breaking ball there thrown by Allen at 85, who came in last half inning and surrendered the lead. But now he's in a position to get the win.
Rajai popped up in his last at bat. And he swings and misses 0-2. Walk and a single tonight for Davis. He's been on base twice. Cody Allen came on to try and get the 2 outs in the 8th, surrendered an RBI single to Romine, which tied the game up at that point. Davis sends a ground ball to second. Gobbled up there by Ramirez. 1 gone. 4-3 in the ground out.
Stepping in for Detroit.
Here is the upcoming matchup presented by Gordon Chevrolet tomorrow night in Game 2 in the series. JV will take them on for Detroit.
Yeah, Justin has won 3 games this year. He's dropped 7 with the earned run average is pretty good. 79 strikeouts, 23 base on balls. He'll go up against Cody Anderson. We haven't seen him yet, have we?
Yeah, we did. We saw him in the last homestand.
Okay.
Here is Ian Kinsler. Kinsler 1 for 4. In fact, it was Verlander and Anderson that hooked up in the 4-0 Cleveland win. Here's a drive in the air to center field, not deep. Coming in is Almonte, and 2 up, 2 down. It's going to bring up Miguel Cabrera.
A lot of less pressure on Allen here going up against Miguel Cabrera with a 2-run spread versus a 1-run spread.
Miggy in the ball game is 1 for 4, singled in the first, but nothing since. And Cabrera looks at ball 1.
Ooh.
It's got to make you jump, doesn't it?
Well, his numbers look like that against every single pitcher on the Tribe's roster, though.
Here's the 1-0. Inside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And for me, that's the one thing that kind of separates Miggy from most big league hitters is the fact that he can have those kind of numbers against a closer, a guy that has the kind of stuff that Cody Allen has. And it's not just Cody Allen, it's a lot of the closers in the country he does that kind of damage against.
See 2-0, swing and a miss, 2-1. Well, if Miggy keeps it going, you got more power waiting on deck at JD Martinez. Two balls, 1 strike on Miguel Cabrera. 2 out, nobody on in the 9th. 2-run game. Swing and a miss. He tried to hold up. Now it's even at 2.
You don't see Miguel take uncomfortable swings like that, but the ball came out of Allen's hand very nicely. An 86-mile-per-hour breaking ball.
Allen 1 strike away from nailing this one shut for the Indians. Here's the 2-2, and he got him, strike 3, and the Indians hold on and win this one tonight.
And Tigers continued to battle in this game, but at the end of the day, it was the Cleveland Indians that were able to beat Detroit this evening.
7-5 the final score. Brantley's 2-run homer in the bottom of the 8th turns out to be the difference. A 2-homer night